Hello, and today we will be discussing another sorting algorithm known as selection sort. The idea of selection sort is pretty simple. Basically, there is an empty array and an unsorted array. The algorithm checks for the element with the least value in the unsorted array, appends it into the empty array, and deletes it from the unsorted array. We can see that when we take our sample array of 3, 2, and 1, and this is our unsorted array. And now we have our empty array right here. And so on our first iteration, we just check for the element with the least value in our unsorted array, and that's just going to be 1. So then we append it into our empty array, and we delete it from our unsorted array. So it's gone. And so we are left with 3, 2 in our unsorted array, and our will be sorted array is just 1 so far. On the second iteration, we check for the least value in our unsorted array again, and now it's only going to be 2 because 1 was already moved out. And we append 2 into our sorted array, and we're left with 3 because 2 is then deleted from our unsorted array. So we have 3 there, and we have 1 and 2 in our sorted array. And then finally, we take 3 and we append it into our sorted array, and we delete it from this unsorted array, and the unsorted array becomes empty, and the sorted array is left with 1, 2, 3. And that's the idea of selection sort. Now let's examine the actual code in Swift Playgrounds. All right, this is the actual code in Swift Playgrounds, and we have a variable a right here, and it's just an empty array. And then we have our unsorted array right here, variable b. And we have a loop right here that goes from 0 to b.count minus 1, which is essentially just the number of elements in the array minus 1. And now let's get into what's actually in this loop. So we have this variable called lowest, which is equal to b.min. And what .min is it's just the least element in that array. So b.min is just going to be the element with the least value in the array B. So the next line, we're saying a dot append lowest question mark 0. What that question mark 0 means is it's just a failsafe. So it means that if lowest does not exist, then just replace it with 0. Then just use the value 0. So it's just there to prevent the app from crashing, just in case you get a fatal error. And so what this code means when it says a.append lowest, it just means that lowest, which was the least, the element with the least value in B, will be appended into A. So then when that's appended into A in the first iteration, we'll see that 1 will be appended into A. So A will be just an array with 1 in it in the first iteration. All right, in the next line, we have var lowest index, and it's equal to b dot first index of lowest, and then we see that failsafe notation again. And so what dot first index is, it's just the index of a certain element. And so we're trying to find the element, the index of the least element in B so that we can remove that element. And then once we remove that element, we'll go to the next iteration and we'll see the element with the least value in B again, and it'll be 2 in the second iteration. So then we remove that value at the lowest index, and then we repeat the iteration. So if we go to notes real quick. We had on our first iteration, we have, all right, so we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we have our empty array. We take 1, which is our lowest, which is b dot min. If this array is b, we take 1, which is b dot min, and we append it into this empty array right here. And after we append it, we remove it from the unsorted array in this line. So after we remove it, then we go into our second iteration, and we have now 5, 4, 3, 2, because 1 was removed. So now we just take 2 and we append it into this array right here. And we get 1, 2. 2 is deleted from this unsorted array, and we're left with 5, 4, 3. So that just keeps on continuing until eventually we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our previously unsorted array is going to be empty now. It's just going to be an empty array because everything was deleted from it and it was all appended into the sorted array. So let's see if this works. And if we look at the console, we see that we have 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason that there is an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here is just because there's an extra print A